Good evening and welcome to the Port Clinton City Council first meeting of the year, January 8th, 2013. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, the Lord's Prayer, and a moment of silence for our men and women serving overseas. And I would also ask you to keep the Leapstraw family in your thoughts and prayers. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Ron Ackerman.
Present.
Deborah Benko. Present. Kathy Mell.
Excused.
Mike Snyder.
Present.
Mark Kopler.
Present.
Randy Lipstraw.
Excused. Do we get
And should I?
No. He is no longer.
Significant or what? I like you, Cole.
We'll have the December 11th at the next meeting?
Yes.
The chair notes that certification has been received regarding compliance with the rules and notification of this meeting. And we'll now get to the mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm sorry. He doesn't want me leaning on him either.
I was going to say he's very sick, so.
Don't have a real large report, but I did want to say thank you to the folks from the Walleye Drop, Don Clemens, Mark Matusik, did an absolutely outstanding job with his committee to promote the city. It was a great event and very well attended. I believe all went extremely well. No incidents of any kind from the chief, I believe.
No, it wasn't.
So it was a great event, a lot of people. It was impressive that people were willing to go out that weather. And speaking of the weather, I also want to compliment the guys in the service department. What an outstanding job they did during our recent storm. To receive 8 inches of snow and move it as fast as they could. They did an outstanding job, and I think they're a little more effective. What people don't know is we've had meetings prior to that storm with all the service guys, along with our chiefs and myself, talking about different ways to deal with the snow and develop some different routes. And so far, we are very pleased with the way that turned out. I think it was very effective. And lastly, just to let everyone know, put together a field trip for part of the administration and council as well to go to Worcester. The city of Worcester has done an outstanding job turning their city around. In recent time, I've been in communication with their chamber and their Main Street folks and some of their administration for the city. And I thought it'd be really a great trip to gather some information to see exactly how they were able to be so successful in turning their town around. So we're looking forward to that trip. That'll be on January 19th. And council and everyone is welcome to come here to City Hall at 8 o'clock. So we can all basically caravan, and we will need to be there by 10 o'clock at the chamber office in the city of Worcester. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Auditor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to let everyone know that I sent out the December month-end reports late last week. It was my first go around to actually doing the reports by myself. So if there's any questions, concerns, please feel free to let me know. I also want to let you know that we are currently working on a 2012 annual report. And in addition, we will begin the state audit starting tomorrow. Other than that is it. Thank you, Madam.
You're welcome. Treasurer's report.
My report is passed out, Madam President. I also let you know that bed tax to date is $157,337.32, and there are still some that need to pay yet. And that's all.
Safety Service Director's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to echo what the mayor said about the guys in the snow removal. I thought it went well and they did a great job. You're going to start seeing some activity on 6th Street. We're out there working, cutting down trees now. Our guys are doing that. We also have Edison in the next couple weeks. We'll probably begin moving some of the poles. As you know, the project, 6th Street, will start sometime probably this spring. So the preliminary work will be done on 6th Street, and the electrical poles they have to move for the project will start taking place. Also, with school being closed there, Jefferson Elementary, 5th Street will no longer be a one-way street. We are working on that now to get the signs removed, put the stop sign back up, so that will be a through street or a two-way street again. Along with that, Jefferson and 4th, the no-turn signs will come down. We will leave them up on Madison Street because of ICS and the church and everything there. But Jefferson and 4th, the no-turn signs will be coming down. And I believe that's all I have tonight, Madam President.
Okay. Police Chief's report.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Under correspondence, we have the treasurer's report on the auditor's report that you received by email. I also have an invitation to the Baton Memorial Intermediate Opening Celebration and Community Tour, and that will be on Saturday, January 12th from 10 a.m. to noon. There will be a brief ceremony at 10, and then at 10:15 they'll start tours, and this is at the Baton School, the new part of the also, the Parks and Recreation Committee minutes of 12:12, Infrastructure of 12:4, Emergency Services of 12:31, and City Planning and Development of 12:4. I will take a motion to accept correspondence as stated.
So moved, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Second?
Second, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Banko. All those in favor?
Aye.
As you can see, we're a little short on councilmen this evening. And I had some conversation with Mr. Wilbur about the ordinances and resolutions that are on tonight's agenda. There are several that are very time sensitive, but because they include emergency clauses, we can't pass those this evening. We don't have enough to do the emergency vote. However, Mr. Wilbur tells me that the ones that are time sensitive aren't due till January 31st. So we should be able to pass those at the January 22nd meeting. However, tonight we will pass, we will read and vote on, choose to pass. We're going to read and vote ordinance 38-12. We will not retain the emergency clause in that ordinance. And Mr. Wilbur said that it's actually not needed. So everything else will be read, at least for its first reading. And the resolution 1301, again, this is time sensitive. Mr. Wilbur wasn't sure when they needed the letter of support, but there's no emergency clause in there, so we can go ahead and pass that this evening. Any questions about how we're going to proceed? No, because they all have emergency clause. You could wait on the resolution, yeah, because you do 4 votes for the reading of this ordinance. Okay, would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 38-12. Ordinance 38-12, an ordinance to approve 2012 replacement pages to the Port Clinton codified ordinances and declaring an emergency. Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 38-12? Mr. Cox.
Make a motion we adopt ordinance 38-12.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 38-12. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll? Mark Kapler,
Yes.
Deborah Benko,
Yes.
Ron Ackerman,
Yes.
Mike Snyder.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 38-12 has passed. Leah, do you know if we have any ordinance books, the big green books and extras around that they can put this? I don't know. How many of you don't have an ordinance book? It should have been passed out from other council members. Okay. We'll see if we can
Now, if you would ask me if I could find it, I would raise my hand. I was
I can
kidding.
find mine. I'm not sure it's up to date, but I can find it. Okay, we will start looking. Mark doesn't have one in. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 41-12?
Ordinance 41-12, an ordinance amending section 915.04 of the codified ordinance of the city of Port Clinton relating to sanitary sewer rates and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 41-12? Seeing none, that'll be moved to the January 22nd meeting for its third reading. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 42-12?
Ordinance 42-12, an ordinance to fix salaries for certain employees of the city of Port Clinton, Ohio, for the period commencing January 1st, 2013, and declaring an emergency.
Since we can't take any action, that will also be moved to the January 22nd meeting for its third reading. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 43-12?
Ordinance 43-12, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for a project to modernize and make more efficient the Jet Express Terminal facility operated by the Put-in-Bay Boat Line Company, all in accordance with the LPA Federal Local LET project agreement between the Ohio Department of Transportation and the city, and declaring an emergency.
Again, since we can't take any action this evening, it'll be moved for its third reading to the January 22nd meeting. Ordinance 45-12.
Ordinance 45-12, an ordinance amending Chapter 719 of the codified ordinances of the city of Port Clinton, regulating street and sidewalk vendors and declaring an emergency.
We will also move that to the January 22nd, 13 meeting for its third reading. Now to new ordinances and resolutions. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 01-13?
Ordinance 01-13, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to submit a grant proposal through the Clean Ohio Fund Recreational Trails Program for the construction of the Lakefront Preserve Trail and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance 01-13 will be moved to the January 22nd, 13 meeting for its second reading. Ordinance 02-13.
Ordinance 02-13, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to issue requests for qualifications and enter into an agreement for construction management services for the Jet Express Terminal facility project and declaring an emergency.
That will also be moved to the January 22nd, 13 meeting for its second reading. Ordinance 03-13.
Ordinance 03-13, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to enter into an agreement for design engineering services for the 2nd Street ODOT Small Cities Grant Project and declaring an emergency.
That will also be moved to the January 22nd, 13 meeting for its second reading. Ordinance 04-13.
Ordinance 04-13, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to issue requests for qualifications and enter into an agreement for the construction management services and declaring emergency.
Again, 04-13 will be moved to the January 22nd meeting for its second reading. Ordinance 5-13, did you all find that at your desks? Would the clerk please read that by title and summary only?
Ordinance 05-13, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for the construction of the Safe Route to School project, and to advertise for qualifications and enter into a contract for the construction management services for the project and declaring an emergency.
That will also be moved to the January 22nd meeting for its second reading. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only resolution 13-01?
Resolution 13-01, a resolution in support of a grant application to the Ottawa Sandusky Seneca Joint Solid Waste Management District and authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to submit such application.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on resolution 13-01? Mr. Schneider.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings on the resolution.
I have a motion to waive the 3 required readings on Resolution 13-01. Do I have a second?
I'd like to second that, please, Madam President.
Thank you. Mr. Ackerman? Any discussion on the waiving? Council should take any further action on Resolution 13-01. Oh, yeah, you could. Clerk, call the roll.
Mark Kopler,
Yes. Roll, you know.
Mike Snyder,
Yes.
Deborah Benko. Yes. Ron Ackerman.
Yes.
Thank you. I want you to know when you were saying that these two over here were south. Oh. Does council wish to take any further action on Resolution 13-01?
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the resolution.
I have a motion to adopt Resolution 13-01. Do I have a second?
Madam President, I would like to second that.
Thank you, Mr. Ackerman. Any discussion? Ms. Dangle?
Give the appropriate individual explain what the Waste Management District grant is going to be for.
Basically, what we're doing is we're applying for funds so that we can replenish and renew some of the picnic tables at the different parks. So this is free money so that we can purchase some of the picnic tables for the parks.
Any other discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mike Snyder,
Yes to free money?
Deborah Benko.
Yes.
Ron Ackerman.
Yes.
Mark Kopler.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 13-01 has passed. I'm going to ask you all to stay healthy so that everybody can be here on January 27th. I will now do business from the floor. Mr. Ackerman.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I don't have much business to announce, so just say Happy New Year, everybody. Good to see everybody back here.
Thank you. Ms. Banko.
Nothing to say, Madam President.
Thank you. Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a few things this evening. Imagine that. First of all, now that the New Year's around, we're only, today's the 8th, 6 months and 20 some odd days until the 4th of July. So we'd like to begin planning for that. We're going to have a Texas Hold'em poker tournament at the Elks Lodge here on Buckeye Boulevard on Sunday, the 27th of January. That happens to be the Sunday between the NFC-AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. I think in years past I've called that the